Okay, let's get set up importing sprites on Construct. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. If you've already got a project like mine here where it's set up and you've got a kind of white boxed, grey box version of the game and you want to change your character, template character that you've already got, you can double click in here and then right click, import frames, and we're going to say from sheet. Once that's there, it'll load up the picture, your files, your downloads folder, wherever you want to go. It will get you to look for it. And then find your image, double click on it, and it will take you to this window here. You can adjust where it's going to sort of cut up the space for all the sprites. So depending on your sprite sheet, this is going to be down to how well you know your sprite sheet. I know I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So I've put 5 rows there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the wrong way around, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Yeah, that is correct. Width and height of our sprite is 32 by 32, so we've got that there. Now, there's a couple of settings here that's really useful. If you look here, it'll give you the options. It'll give you some options. So it'll say add frames from selection, so you can select a bunch by clicking and dragging, and then you can add frames like this. Or you can also say add all frames and do it like that. For now, I'm going to add all frames. I'm just going to chuck it all in. Import frames. Right click here then to duplicate, and we're going to have a jump, we're going to have a walk, and we're going to have an idle. So I'm going to need 3. So I'm going to duplicate, and I just need the frames for the character idling for number 1, which are these first 4 here. So I can just start deleting these other ones. I don't need them. Rename idle. And if we click on the actual animation itself, it comes up with some options down here. We want our idle animation to loop. Yeah, otherwise it'll do it once and it'll just stay there. So right click, preview, and we can see it's looping that animation for us. That's going to be the same with the walk as well. So just because we know the sprite sheet, the first 4 frames that I'm deleting there are the idle. These frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, are my character walking. So we can get rid of these as well. So let's rename it. Walk. Let's click here. And we want that to loop as well. Preview. And we can see our characters running there. You've also got things like speed, if you want to play around with it. How many times you want it to repeat if you're not having it loop. And ping pong, which will send the animation one way then the other. I'll set the loop to ping pong and it'll show you what it's doing. So it's going one way, then it's going backwards, which is creating this weird sort of dance effect, I guess. So that's what that one does. And then this one is going to be our jump. So we're going to rename this to jump. If we click here, and we only need the jump, which is this one right at the end here. Now the jump doesn't really matter if it's looping or not because it's just that one frame. It's just there. So you don't need that ticked or not. Once you've got it, we've got a character in the game. Oh no, our character is tiny. That's fine. We can resize it here. I did say 34 is the size of the character. We're probably going to go bigger than that. I think 64 by 64. There we go. And then we've got our character set up, ready then to get the animation set up, which would be the next step. Also, while we're here, if you are finding that your animation is looking blur, your character's looking blurry, if you go project properties, sampling, check that that is set to nearest, because otherwise there's chances it'll be blurry. So there we go. That's set up, ready to go. The other way of doing it is if you double click, search sprite, you can add your sprite. We're going to call our sprite our robot. Click, And now where it's blank, we can bring it in from the top here where it says load animations. If you click on that, it'll bring up the folder again. You just select the file. So I'll double click on that, select the file. Import from Sprite Sheet. And again, you go through here, you check this is set up correct for you. It's exactly what you want, but you've got a few extra options here now because we've imported into the sprite rather than an individual animation frame and then copy it. And you've got the options. If you hover over it, it'll tell you add animation with all frames, add animation for each column, add animation for row. We want it rows, and it's done the hard work for us now. So if we import, where I was deleting the frames before, it's done it for us. So if we look, animation 1, that was the original sprite. Animation 2 is the walk. Animation 3 is this little sit down animation of this character, sit down and sort of stand up. And then you've got the jump as well. There are blank frames at the end, which we want to get rid of, because if you use anything that loops or anything that causes problems, it will cause flickering effects and stuff we don't need. So now it's a case of clicking through. We want this one to loop, and we're going to name it the idle, because that's what it's doing. If we click here, that's our walk. So we're going to rename that one to walk. And we're going to click loop. Here is the sit down ones, which I'm not going to bother with for now. Rename here to jump, and we've got the jump. So there we've got a character set up, ready to go. And again, I'm going to make that 64 by 64 size, just to appeal to my sort of palette, my level layout that I've already got here. And that's our character set up. They're stuck in the air. That's our character there, set up. So there's two ways of doing it. No way's wrong. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Good luck.